You asked for part 2, yeah, I listened, let's go, here it is. The mother locked herself in her room for 21 days. She stopped answering calls. She stopped cooking. All she did was pray and cry, begging God to forgive her for what she had done to her daughters. Every night, guilt choked her like a hand around her throat. She could still hear their voices, broken and angry. She could still see their tears. On the 21st day, weak and trembling, she dragged herself to church. Her pastor looked at her with soft eyes and said, "Your prayers have been heard. Restoration is coming." She felt a flicker of hope. But he also said, "It will not be easy." She nodded, afraid but willing. The hardest part was yet to come. The mother knew what she had to do. She had to face each daughter and beg for forgiveness. Her hands shook as she picked up the phone. Her heart pounded in her chest. She went to the first daughter's house and knocked softly. When the door opened, she fell to her knees. Tears poured down her face. "I was wrong," she whispered. "I destroyed you with my advice. Please forgive me." The daughter stared at her for a moment, then knelt down beside her. "Mama, get up," she said gently, pulling her mother into her arms. "I forgive you." The mother couldn't believe it. She visited the second and third daughters. Each one, through tears, said the same thing. "We forgive you, Mama." The first daughter sat with her mother that evening, holding her hand. "Mama, I won't lie. You hurt me deeply," she said softly. "But I also know you thought you were protecting me. You were wrong, but your intention wasn't evil." The mother nodded, tears streaming down her face. "I was so afraid. I don't want people to mock you," she whispered. "But I pushed you into the arms of wolves instead." The first daughter squeezed her hand. "We've all made mistakes, Mama. What matters now is that we heal together." For the first time in months, the mother felt a weight lift from her chest. Her daughters had forgiven her. Now, she had to forgive herself. The first daughter had stopped believing in love. After everything she endured, trusting a man felt like walking into fire again. But one evening, she received a message online. It was from a widower with 2 children. His words were kind. He didn't rush her. He didn't make big promises. He simply listened. Slowly, carefully, she let her guard down. They talked for weeks. He told her about his late wife, his struggles, his children. She told him about her pain, her loneliness. He didn't judge her. One day he asked gently, "Can I meet you? My children want to meet you too." Her heart raced. She called her mother immediately. "Mama, what should I do?" The mother took a deep breath before answering. This time, she would not repeat her mistakes. "My daughter," she said carefully, "I cannot tell you what to do. But I can tell you this. Pray about it. Ask God for discernment. And listen to your heart." The first daughter felt tears well up. This was different. Her mother was supporting her, not controlling her. "Thank you, Mama," she whispered. The mother continued, "If you decide to meet him, I'll go with you if you want. I want to support you, not dictate to you." The first daughter agreed to meet the widower. And this time, she felt her mother's love, not her fear, guiding her. The first daughter agreed to meet him. She was terrified. What if his children hated her? What if she wasn't enough? But when she arrived with her mother by her side, the children ran to her with smiles. They hugged her like they had known her forever. The widower watched with warmth in his eyes. The mother observed quietly, praying silently. She saw genuine kindness in this man's eyes. For the first time in years, her daughter felt safe. Weeks passed. He opened a small supermarket and put it in her name. "You deserve something of your own," he said quietly. The first daughter called her mother that night, crying with joy. "Mama, I think this is real love." One evening, under a quiet sky, the widower knelt before the first daughter and asked, "Will you marry me?" She could hardly breathe. She looked at her mother, who was standing nearby with tears in her eyes. The mother nodded encouragingly. Follow your heart, my daughter, she whispered. The first daughter said yes. The mother helped plan the wedding, careful not to take over, but offering support where needed. She helped choose the dress, cooked for the guests, and held her daughter close the morning of the wedding. I'm so proud of you, the mother said. You chose well this time. And I'm grateful I get to witness your happiness. The daughter hugged her tightly. Together, they had found healing. The second daughter was doing well at her new marketing job. She had relocated. She was starting fresh. She had a sharp ache in her lower abdomen which she tried to ignore, but it got worse every day. One morning, she collapsed at work. Her colleagues rushed her to the hospital. The doctors ran tests. When they came back, their faces were serious. There's severe internal damage, they said carefully. From trauma. It's affecting your womb. Her chest tightened. What does that mean? She whispered. The doctor paused. We need to remove it. There's no other option. She immediately called her mother, her voice breaking. Mama, I need you. The mother dropped everything and rushed to the hospital. When she arrived, she found her second daughter in tears, trembling with fear. The mother wrapped her arms around her and held her close. I'm here, my daughter. I'm not going anywhere. The second daughter sobbed into her mother's shoulder. Mama, they're taking my womb. I'll never have children. The mother stroked her hair gently. Listen to me, she said firmly. You are more than your ability to have children. You are strong, beautiful, and worthy of love. This doesn't define you. The second daughter cried harder, but this time, she wasn't alone. Her mother stayed by her side through the entire surgery and recovery. Days after the surgery, the second daughter left the hospital with her mother supporting her. She felt empty and broken. As they walked slowly to the car, she bumped into someone. A man. He caught her before she fell. Are you okay? He asked gently. She looked up at him, and something in his kind eyes made her break. The mother watched as her daughter sobbed. The man didn't walk away. He helped them to a nearby bench and listened. The second daughter told him everything. The abuse. The surgery. The emptiness. The mother sat quietly, letting her daughter speak. The man didn't pity her. He simply stayed. And the mother saw something beautiful beginning to form. The second daughter couldn't understand why the man stayed. Over the following weeks, he visited her every day during her recovery. The mother watched carefully, but this time she said nothing negative. She simply observed and prayed. One evening, the man sat with both of them. I can never give you children, the second daughter told him, her voice shaking. He looked at her with steady eyes. You're not broken, he said firmly. You survived. That makes you strong. The mother's heart swelled. This man was different. He then said softly, we can adopt. We can build a family together. If you'll let me. The second daughter looked at her mother. The mother smiled through tears and nodded. He loves you truly, my daughter. The third daughter had almost given up. Her business project had been rejected so many times she stopped counting. She had poured everything into it, her time, her savings, her hope. But every door slammed shut. She was broke. Emotionally drained. Ready to quit. Her mother visited her one evening and found her sitting in the dark, defeated. Mama, I'm done, she whispered. I have nothing left. The mother sat beside her and held her hand. My daughter, I know I've failed you in the past. But let me tell you something now. Your strength is not gone. It's just resting. Keep going. Your breakthrough is coming. The third daughter leaned on her mother's shoulder and cried. One ordinary Tuesday morning, the third daughter's phone rang. It was the approval board. Your project has been approved, they said. She froze. What? She whispered. Approved. Fully funded. Congratulations. She dropped the phone and immediately called her mother. Mama. Mama. It happened. They approved it. The mother screamed with joy on the other end. I told you, my daughter. I told you your breakthrough was coming. That evening, the mother came over with food and they celebrated together. The third daughter looked at her mother with gratitude. Thank you for believing in me when I couldn't believe in myself. The mother held her close. That's what mothers are for, my dear. Real mothers. Just as the third daughter began to breathe again, her phone rang. It was a number she had blocked long ago. Her ex-husband. She stared at the screen, her chest tight. Against her better judgment, she answered. His voice was broken. Please, he begged. I need to talk to you. She said nothing. He continued, words spilling out in desperation. She left me. The woman I ran away with. She took everything. I have nothing now. The third daughter felt a strange calm settle over her. Her mother, who was sitting nearby, watched carefully. And you thought I would help you? The third daughter asked coldly. He started to cry. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. She looked at her mother. The mother shook her head gently, but said nothing. This was her daughter's decision to make. The third daughter spoke into the phone, her voice steady. You made your choice. You betrayed me. You took everything. Now you want my pity. He begged and pleaded. The third daughter listened for a moment, then said quietly, I forgive you. But forgiveness doesn't mean I take you back. Goodbye. She hung up. The mother reached over and squeezed her hand. I'm proud of you, she said. You chose dignity over desperation. The third daughter exhaled deeply. With her mother beside her, she felt stronger than ever. She had closed that chapter for good. She was finally free. The first daughter gave birth to a healthy baby boy on a rainy Thursday morning. Her husband held her hand through every contraction, whispering words of encouragement. Her mother stood on the other side of the bed, praying softly and wiping her daughter's forehead. When the baby cried for the first time, all three of them wept. The mother held her grandson for the first time and whispered, Thank you, God, for letting me see this day. The stepchildren rushed in later, eyes wide with excitement. Grandma, can we hold him? They asked. The mother smiled and carefully placed the baby in their arms. This was the family she had almost destroyed. But God had restored it. The first daughter's supermarket became a gathering place in the community. Mothers brought their children after school. Elders sat outside and told stories. The mother worked there every Saturday, greeting customers with warmth and joy. She hired women who had been rejected, giving them second chances. One evening, an old woman approached and said, You and your daughter are blessings to this place. The mother smiled humbly. We're just doing what God has done for us, she replied. Her daughter watched from across the store and felt overwhelming gratitude. Her mother had truly changed. She was no longer controlling. She was supportive, loving, and present in all the right ways. The second daughter stood in front of the adoption agency with her fiancé and her mother. Her hands were sweating. The social worker smiled warmly and handed them a folder. There's a little girl, she said softly. 3 years old. She's been waiting for a family. The second daughter opened the folder and saw the child's photo. Big brown eyes. A shy smile. Her heart broke open. Can we meet her? She whispered. That afternoon, the little girl ran into her arms. The mother watched, tears streaming down her face. You're going to be an amazing mother, she whispered to her daughter. The second daughter smiled. You taught me how, Mama. By learning to do it right. The second daughter's wedding was small and beautiful. She wore a simple white dress her mother had helped her choose. Her mother sat in the front row, crying tears of joy as her daughter exchanged vows. When the officiant asked, Do you take this woman? The groom answered without hesitation. I do. With everything I am. After the ceremony, the adoptive daughter ran up, giggling. Grandma, Mommy looks like a princess. The mother scooped her up and spun her around. Later, the second daughter pulled her mother aside. Thank you for being here, Mama. For supporting me. For changing. The mother held her daughter's face gently. You gave me a second chance. I'll spend the rest of my life making it count. The third daughter was invited to speak at a business conference. Thousands of people filled the auditorium. Her mother sat in the front row, beaming with pride. The third daughter walked onto the stage, her heart pounding. She told her story without shame. She spoke about betrayal, rejection, and the long wait for breakthrough. She also spoke about forgiveness and restoration. My mother made mistakes, she said, looking directly at her. But she humbled herself, asked for forgiveness, and changed. And now, she's my biggest supporter. The audience applauded. Afterward, young women approached, asking for advice. The mother stood beside her daughter, watching her inspire others. I'm so proud of you, she whispered. The third daughter hugged her tightly. The mother received a call from the second daughter one afternoon. Mama, there's a boy at the agency. 5 years old. He has a disability. Most families have passed on him. Her voice trembled. We want to take him, but I'm scared. What if I can't handle it? The mother didn't hesitate. My daughter, love is what that child needs. And you have plenty of it. I'll be right there with you every step of the way. A week later, they met the boy. He was quiet and scared. But when the second daughter knelt down and smiled, he reached out and touched her face. Will you keep me? He whispered. The mother watched as her daughter pulled him close. Forever, she promised. The family grew beautifully. The first daughter had 3 children. The second daughter adopted 2. The third daughter poured herself into mentoring young women. And the mother was present in all of it. She babysat, cooked, attended school events, and prayed over her family daily. One Sunday, all 3 daughters surprised her with a small party. What's this for? She asked, confused. The third daughter smiled. For you, Mama. For fighting to win us back. For changing. For being the mother we always needed. The mother looked around at her daughters, their husbands, and her grandchildren. Her heart swelled. She had almost lost everything. But by God's grace, redemption had come. The mother began volunteering at the third daughter's mentorship program. She shared her story openly with young women, warning them about the dangers of bitterness and control. I almost destroyed my daughters with my fear, she said one evening. But they taught me that it's never too late to change. It's never too late to ask for forgiveness and mean it. The room was silent. Then the applause began. Afterward, a young woman approached her. My mother is just like you used to be, she said quietly. Controlling and bitter. Can you talk to her? The mother agreed. She was using her past mistakes to help others heal. That was her new purpose. Years passed. The first daughter's son took his first steps in his grandmother's arms. The second daughter's children called her Grandma without hesitation. The third daughter's business became an empire, and she credited her mother's prayers and support. Every Sunday, the entire family gathered at the mother's house for dinner. Laughter filled the rooms. Children ran through the halls. Love was everywhere. One evening, as the mother watched her family, the first daughter came and sat beside her. Mama, do you remember when we were broken? She asked softly. The mother nodded. Every day, my daughter. The first daughter smiled. Look at us now. We're whole again. Because you chose to change. The mother's birthday celebration was grand. The entire community came. Her daughters stood together and gave speeches about her transformation. Our mother was lost, the second daughter said. But she found her way back through humility, prayer, and love. She didn't give up on us, and we didn't give up on her. The third daughter added, she taught us that redemption is real. That people can change. That forgiveness heals. The mother wept openly. Her pastor, who had prayed with her during those 21 days, stood and said, "This is what restoration looks like." The mother looked at her daughters, their families, and everyone gathered. You gave me a second chance when I didn't deserve it, she said, her voice breaking. And together, we built something beautiful. They all embraced, a family restored by grace, forgiveness, and unconditional love.